presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
Memorial Day was a great day for the Indians, including the first back-to-back homers of the season from Carlos Santana and Edwin Encarnacion in the middle of the lineup. Today could be a little more difficult as the Tribe squares off against Sonny Gray, who has been very good in his career against Cleveland. Trevor Bauer is always up for a challenge, and he'll face the A's ace next on Sports Time Ohio. Another beautiful night in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, as the Indians keep the homestand cooking. It's game 2 in this 4-game series against the Oakland Athletics. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tonight is game number 50 on the season, and it's still tough to get a beat on who this Cleveland Indians team really is. But 4 times this year, they've had a losing streak of 3 games in a row. And if they win tonight, it'll be their 4th win streak of 3 games in a row. So they've been streaky, just not in long streaks either way.
Well, if they can continue to hit like they have the last couple of games, we expected them to do it all year. The whole team has banded together. They had 7 base hits with runners in scoring position 2 days ago. They only had 1 yesterday, but they hit the long ball. They had 3 home runs in that game to go along with good pitching. And look at the records from last year to this year, identical. Of course, they're scoring less this year. Their pitching, their starting pitching is a little bit higher. Their bullpen ERA is much better, but the average with runners in scoring position, they're going to have to pick it up a little bit.
So do you think it's just expectations? That's why people,
I think
the perception is they're not playing that well?
Yes, exactly right. They're the same where they were last year. Yeah. It's just that now, they got to pick it up a little bit.
Speaking of expectations, former #1 pick Trevor Bauer gets the start tonight for the Tribe, but Rick, it looks like he's trending in the right direction now.
Well, he certainly is as far as command issues go. He's going out. He only has 3 walks in his last 3 starts, 22 strikeouts. It's been a combination of high fastballs and good curveballs, and Trevor can do that to you. He also has a good changeup, but there's one thing he's going to be matched up against, and that's Sonny Gray. And in his own right, this is another guy that has a fastball and a very good curveball. He's pitched well against the Indians before, 2-1, a 2.59 ERA. You're going to have to lay off that curveball until you get to 2 strikes and just look for that fastball changeup and lay off the curveball. Awfully hard to do, though.
Should be a great matchup as the Indians look to stay on a roll tonight here against the Oakland A's. We'll be back with the first pitch coming up. Plus, we'll check in with Al and Jensen. We'll also hear from Andre on the impact Austin Jackson has had on this edition of the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
They take on the Oakland A's, try to make it 2 straight against Oakland and 3 straight overall in the win column. Back here in center field along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Well, the story that everybody's talking about in baseball is what happened yesterday in San Francisco between the Giants and the Washington Nationals, and more specifically, Hunter Strickland versus Bryce Harper. Well, Hunter Strickland hit Bryce Harper, and then, of course, the fight ensued. Here it is, our big story. Let's go back to 2014 first, though, Jensen, because here's where it all started.
Well, you see Bryce Harper, he gets all of that in the postseason. Now he gets hit yesterday. If you're telling me that you're exacting revenge from a postseason home run that ultimately tried to get Washington to defeat San Francisco, by the way, San Francisco won the World Series that year. So for me, it's pretty hard to believe that Hunter Strickland would pick yesterday to exact whatever revenge he thought was necessary. I think you'll learn a lot by watching this replay a couple of times. You see Buster Posey does not come out to get in the middle of Bryce Harper and Hunter Strickland. What does that tell me as a former pitcher? Number one, if you're trying to defend a teammate, that's one thing because your hitters are getting hit and you're trying to hit somebody else to send a message. That's baseball. That's been around. But yesterday is such an outlier, and Hunter Strickland took it into his own hands. That's why you saw Buster Posey not go out to try and help his pitcher, because now San Francisco is on watch. They're not going to be able to be comfortable in the batter's box today, and somebody in the middle of that lineup is getting drilled, no doubt about it.
Matt and Rick join us now, and there you go, guys. Talk about a big story. It sure has been a big one in baseball here these last couple of days.
Well, and I'm sure they'll have plenty of time to think about it once the suspensions are handed out, and they'll be sitting down missing a few ball games. Indians trying to make it 5 straight against Oakland here on their home turf. They have had their way with Oakland here of late, and they'll continue to try and do that here tonight. Let's go downstairs to Andre Knott, who has more on a guy who's not in the lineup, but somebody who's had a big impact on this Indians team.
Yeah, let's talk about some good teammates after what we just went through and we watched from out in San Francisco yesterday. You know, Austin Jackson was the spark the Indians have been looking for offensively over the last few days. And he did it by just simplifying the game. He basically went to everybody and he went out and played by hitting the ball the other way and where the ball was pitched. It seems like a real easy thing to talk about and a real easy thing to do. But obviously the Indians relaxed and were able to do it over the last 2 games where they've had 25 hits and they were able to go about doing their business the right way. If you look at a pie chart and you look at what all their hits have been the last 2 days, 9 have been to right field, 9 have been to center field, 9 have been to left field. It's that way of hitting that's changed how the Indians have played the last 2 days. Now the question is, can they continue doing it?
Well, we certainly hope so. He's not going to be able to do it where he's playing tonight.
Let's take a look at the Oakland A's starting lineup tonight that Trevor Bauer will face. It's brought to you by Hankook Tires. Rajay Davis leading it off. Trevor Plouffe bats second. Jed Lauer hitting third. Chris Davis tied for second in the American League in home runs will bat cleanup. Then it's Yonder Alonso followed by Ryan Healy, Matt Joyce, Josh Fegley, and Adam Rosales batting ninth.
Trevor Bauer, the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Tribe tonight, 4-4. Last 3 starts have been very good, though. He is 2-0 in a .424 in 17 innings. He has struck out 22, walked 3. In his career, he's looking for his first win against the Oakland A's. He has started 3 times. He has a nice .289 ERA, but he's not in that win column, and he's looking to do so today. At home, he's 2-1 with a 6 ERA, but he's going to try and get that win tonight. Let's set the defense behind him. Brought to you by Northern Ohio, by Ram. In the outfield, it's going to be Brantley in left, Zimmer in center. Robertson gets the start in right this evening. Ramirez is at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Encarnacion is at first. Perez doing the catching.
Nick Lentz will call the balls and strikes. Mark Ripperger is at first base. The crew chief, Tom Hallion, at second, and Phil Cuzzi down at third. So for the Indians, they come in 1 game back of front-running Minnesota in the American League Central Division. Tribe at 26-23. Oakland has fallen into a last-place tie with Seattle in the AL West. They've lost 3 in a row in their 13 games in back of Houston. As the Astros continue to surge, they have won 5 in a row heading into play here this evening. Rajay Davis will lead it off. He provided many a memory to these Indians fans a year ago, and no one will forget the Game 7 dramatics that he provided in the World Series. But what he has not been able to do for Oakland this year, and it's not all on him because they've had other people in that leadoff spot. No one has been able to provide a spark at the top of the A's lineup so far this year. We're underway as Trevor Bauer's first pitch fastball sails high, ball one. Oakland leadoff hitters this year, talking about the #1 spot in the order, have combined for a 161 batting average and a 238 on base percentage. That's 93 points on batting average below the major league average, 85 points below the major league average in on base percentage.
Well, that's a tough go. That means that you're starting the inning and you're playing with 2 outs pretty much for the most part.
You need that leadoff guy to find a way to get on base even if the hits aren't falling. Rajay shoots it out of play. It stays 0-2. It stays 1-2.
Well, this is Oakland team is an all or nothing team. You know, they're third in the league in home runs with 74. They're very good there. They can get their extra base hits, but you know they don't score a lot and they strike out a ton.
Bauer's fastball sails high and it's 2-2. Bauer's fastball swung on and missed. Low and away, perfect location. And there is one down here in the first.
Well, Trevor comes back with a nice low fastball right there. How many times I'd love to see it down there. The one thing with Trevor, he averages 19 pitches per inning. And sometimes that harms him from going deep into the ball game, but he's a well-conditioned pitcher that 100 pitches for him is no big deal.
And he flips a big curveball in there for strike one to Trevor Plouffe. Despite going 0 for 4 yesterday, Plouffe has batted .270 in the month of May. And what a turnaround that has been for him after he hit .207 in the month of April.
Yeah, Plouffe was hitting 8th yesterday. Now he moves up to second.
Boy, good looking fastball and just missed off the corner. Otherwise, he'd have had a quick punch up. Comes right back with it, and that time he did catch the outside corner. 2 down.
Was that the same pitch? That's my question. Check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. That one had a little better movement coming back over the outside corner. That 2-seamer that starts it at about the hip of the left-handed hitter, but a lot of times right-handers will give up on it, and that one had some pretty good comeback to it.
And that's going to bring up Jed Lowry. Sends a fly ball deep left center field, and she is off the top of the fence. And Lowry cruises into second base with a 2-out double.
Well, Lowry jumped on the first pitch. He drove it to left center field, hit it a ton. It goes off the auxiliary scoreboard. That was just a fastball, I think. I don't think that was a changeup, was it? First pitch. He takes it off the wall and left. So it's a 2-out double.
Looks like a changeup.
Changeup, it sure is, at 89. He stayed on it nicely and hit it that way. It was upstairs a little bit, but that was a changeup.
2-out opportunity for Chris Davis. Curveball in the dirt. Davis, 6 home runs in his last 13 games, including yesterday, in which he moved into a tie for second place in the league with his 16th home run. Chopped to third. It's foul.
Well,
let's take a look at our wayside storylines. Offensively, they've been scoring some runs. You want to try and keep the pedal down on the gas. And the A's, look, they're a team that they truly live and die by the long ball, because they They don't manufacture a lot of runs.
Yeah, 54% of their runs have scored via the home run. 110 of their 203. The long ball has an impact, and this guy and the on-deck hitter are the dynamic duo.
And it's 1-2.
Yeah, Chris Davis has 16 and Alonso has 14, so that's 30. So that's more than any duo in baseball.
Now the 1-2 pitch coming from Bauer. And a little low and away on the curveball, and he lays off. You see this with a number of middle of the order hitters, guys who are hitting home runs. This doesn't apply to everybody, but there are a lot of them, like Chris Davis, who have the home run, the gaudy numbers there, but just 7 for 41 with a runner in scoring position. Getting that clutch hit, a little different story.
Yeah.
Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Bauer fans 3. The A's strand a runner in scoring position. The Indians are coming to bat. Starting lineup for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive. Jason Kipnis in the leadoff spot. Francisco Lindor will bat second. Michael Brantley riding a 13-game hitting streak will hit third. Then it's Carlos Santana, Edwin Encarnacion, and Jose Ramirez. Bradley Zimmer, Roberto Perez, and Daniel Robertson will bat ninth.
Sonny Gray, the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for the A's. He's 2-1, 334 earned run average, making his 6th start. Began the season on the 10-day disabled list with a strained right shoulder. Coming off the best start of the year for him in his last start against the Marlins.
Sonny Gray delivers outside, ball 1.
Yeah, in his last start he went 7 innings, had 11 strikeouts, allowed just 3 hits and 1 run.
And a foul right back to even the count. Another 1-1. Smashed to short, backhanded nicely by Adam Rosales. And he throws him out. This has not been a good A's team defensively this year, but Rosales able to make that play.
No, you're exactly right. This defense is brought to you by W.B. Mason. 51 errors in 50 games. In the outfield, it's Chris Davis in left, Rajai in center. It'll be Joyce over in right. Plouffe is at third. Rosales gets the start at short. Lowry is at second. Alonso is at first. Fegley doing the catching tonight.
Francisco Lindor. Lindor had his 12-game hitting streak come to an end yesterday. Smashed right up the middle. And Rosales cuts this off and throws him out, 2 down. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, the game plan versus Sonny Gray is pretty simple when you talk to Ty Van Berkelo, the hitting coach for the Indians. Basically, he says if there's a curveball coming, he's told all of his guys if they pick up with a spin, spit on it. Don't swing at it because very rarely does it stay in the strike zone. Other thing that was interesting to me, Arch, and maybe you can see it from up there, maybe Matt as well, all the hitters say that they feel like his fastball has a cut to it. There's a little bit of a cut fastball. But Van Berkelo says he doesn't see it in video, but all the hitters come back and say there's late movement on the fastball when it gets under their hands, especially the lefties.
Well, that very well could be. But I agree with the don't swing at the curveball unless you have to, and you get to 2 strikes.
Brantley shoots it into right field, a base hit. He keeps his streak alive. And for Michael, that's 14 in a row.
That's what you want to get. When you get the fastball, and Jason Kipnis had the first one, you don't want to foul it straight back. You want to put it in play, and this is what Brantley does right here. And he gets the base hit. He finds a hole. He gets under the glove of Lowry over there at second base, so it'll be a 2-out single for the drive. Yeah, if you get that fastball where you can handle it, hopefully you put it in play. You don't foul it off.
Not that Sonny Gray won't flip up a first pitch breaking ball or try to mix it in, but it's kind of like Carlos Carrasco. He gets the 2 strikes, he'll wipe you out with that pitch.
Slider, yeah, the slider will kill you.
Now here's Carlos Santana.
And there you go. There's the curveball for strike 1. He's proving it. He's just, that's a get me over one. That's not his hard biting one. And the word that Andre used, if you can pick up the spin, that means that it's a really tight spin curveball, and sometimes it's tough to pick up, and hitters will wave at it anyway.
Hey.
Alonso already went back and told his manager to check in that video. He might have felt he got Brantley before he touched the base. No?
No challenge.
No challenge whatsoever. But you see, if your player out there tells you, you can see Michael did have his hand on the base.
Carlos Santana tied for 3rd in the American League with 15 doubles. Shift on for Oakland, and the pitch is down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Had a pitch to hit, ripped it back foul.
But that's the one you want to put in play. See, Carlos can get on any fastball. It doesn't matter. He was just a little bit behind that one. Maybe because it was just a hair up, but still, he put a good swing on it.
And this one's pulled foul.
See how that curveball starts biting down, and it's probably out of the zone, but it's so tight. You're going to see the spin and the way he throws that curveball, and I mean it's down, and you see the catcher's going down to block it, knowing he's trying to bounce it. He almost wants to put it on home plate because it looks good to the hitter, and then by the time they get ready to swing at it, it's down, it's gone.
Runner goes, got a great jump.
Yes.
And Healy didn't come up with it, but the umpire said Santana swung at it.
did.
And the inning is over. We played an inning, no score in Cleveland. Trevor Bauer will go to work against Yonder Alonso. Alonso has had himself quite a month. He has hit 10 home runs, most in the majors.
You know, when you had the kind of month that he's had, and that's more home runs than he's hit in any year. So whatever he worked on and whatever he did in the offseason is certainly paying dividends. He's got to be thrilled because something like that, all the hard work you put in, is paying off. He hit one yesterday with authority. That's not a bad month of May, huh?
Not at all.
The young rook in Texas, a nice month as well.
Mike Trout's month of May has come to a premature halt. Foul out of play on the left side, just over the tarp. And it's 2-1. Oakland has dropped 17 of their last 21 road games. The A's have done well at the Coliseum, going 15-10. But now on the road, just 7-18. Pulls it foul, and the count evens at 2-2.
Well, it's not easy to play on the road if you're not going to score a lot of runs. Even though you'll hit home runs, your bullpen has to be good. Because you're always, if you play with a lead, you're going to have to hold it down.
A little low, full count. Now the payoff pitch, a curveball, and I don't know what was wrong with it. I guess he was going to say it was high, but that looked like a pretty doggone good pitch.
Well, let's take a look and see. Well, it was close, but they don't call a high pitch much anymore.
You know, when we had Tom Verducci on last Friday night prior to the FS1 game, talking about how the curveball is making a big comeback,
right,
among starting pitchers in particular in baseball. And it is a pitch because maybe umpires don't see a lot of it that big. curve like that, it's maybe just tough to get
well,
caught.
and then when they see a ball go up that high and then finally come down, you know, a lot of guys quit throwing it because they couldn't get it called for a strike at times. But it's an outstanding pitch. You're seeing more and more pitchers throw the curveball.
Ryan Healy serving as the DH. Had a 3-hit game yesterday, including a home run.
That's what I like from Trevor right there, that low fastball. Love that pitch right there because it's so tough for those hitters. Now we know he likes to throw pitches up in the zone, you know, to get swings and misses. But if you establish down there with that fastball early in the count, then you'll get your chases when you go upstairs. He's throwing some good low fastballs early in this ball game.
Healy just reaching out and spoiling a pitch to stay alive. Sometimes I wonder what the difference is start to start for pitchers, why sometimes they can get the ball down in the zone consistently and other times everything seems to be up. The 2-strike pitch, a little bit outside. If it was a simple adjustment, they'd make it every time.
Sure they would.
But there's got to be more to it than just one.
You got to work hard to get that ball down in the strike zone.
It takes more energy, essentially.
Yeah, it does. It sure does.
Which is why you notice when a pitcher tires, the ball starts to come up in the strike zone. Broke his bat and it's through. And around second, Yonder Alonso going to head for third. Robertson's throw is not in time. So Oakland has runners at the corners on a tough break, literally, for Trevor Bauer.
Well, it sounded like he shattered his bat, and this pitch is not even a strike. It was off the plate. And Encarnacion, he wasn't going to get there anyway. So it gets into the hole, and they have runners at the corners now, first and third, and nobody out after the leadoff walk.
So Matt Joyce, the batter, as the Indians set their defense. They'll try to turn 2 in the middle. Encarnacion will hold Healy at first. Ramirez will play even with the bag at third. Slow curveball and it's fouled off. The good news, it's a good news, bad news situation for Trevor Bauer. The good news is that Matt Joyce has only hit a .172 against right-handed pitching this year, which is unusual being that he's a left-handed hitter. You would think maybe he would thrive in these situations, but all of his home runs and RBIs have come against right-handed pitching. Now low. 1 ball, 1 strike. He gets that call.
Yeah, I was going to see now you see where Joyce is looking back. And this one was a little bit lower, I think. You see where he ended up catching, it was a little bit below the belt. So that one was down, I think, a little bit to the one he threw to Alonso.
Right back toward first base. Encarnacion will flip it now to first base. Close play, and he's safe at first. Kipnis couldn't get to the bag. So it looked like just a slight hesitation between Bauer and Encarnacion proved costly.
Yeah, and also, by the time Kip could get there, he couldn't reach the bag. Watch, in comes Encarnacion. He's going to get the ball. I think he might have had thoughts of going home with it. I'm not so sure what kind of jumping you can see.
Oh, I think he's out. The Indians are going to challenge this.
Well,
it's still going to cost you a run either way.
It looked like his foot hit the bag.
Yeah, that's going to get overturned, but the run scores anyway. But at least now you've got 1 out with a runner in scoring position.
Okay, the
that should not take long at all.
But I didn't see a reaction from Kip, did you? Like he touched the base?
Oh yeah, his foot definitely hit.
No, but
the
I'm saying, did you see him react to the dugout saying, hey, after he called him safe?
I did not.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I didn't see anything, so I just assumed he missed it.
Going to give Matt Joyce his 18th RBI one way or the other. And Ryan Healy will be in the scoring position. The only question is, will it be 1 out with a runner at second, or no outs and 2 men on? Based on every angle we've seen, it's going to be 1 out and a runner at second. Tom Hallion, the crew chief, is on your right.
Well, that was fast.
And he's up.
He's okay. So that goes 3-4. There you go. There's the flip from Encarnacion, and there you can see Kip does get that foot on the base. Now I want to see the break at third base. It's okay. It's nothing. No, I don't think he was coming. He was just planned on going to first base.
He would have needed a bigger hop, maybe.
Yeah,
you know,
either that, but Bauer was coming in, and he couldn't really take off after the ball.
Well, Josh Phegley bats with runner at second, 1 out. Oakland leading in 1-0. That's outside ball 1. After a 16-pitch first inning in which he struck out 3, this will be pitch number 17 of the second inning, and only 1 out.
You know, if anything, it does seem at times that Trevor will have that 1 inning where he throws 25-30 pitches in that early inning.
Chop foul. By the way, the suspensions have been handed down. Rick handed me this in between innings. That brawl that Jensen was talking about at the top of the telecast. Bryce Harper received a 4-game suspension for charging the mound. Hunter Strickland got 6 games for inciting it. In the air, deep center, back is Bradley Zimmer, tracking it on the warning track, and he does make the catch. And that is out number 2. And you can see Zimmer kind of feeling for that wall, still getting used to his new environs here in Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree. He tried to take a peek back. He looked and sees the wall, but then he was still on the grass. You still have about 15 feet when you get to the warning track, and that's probably 2 full strides. Maybe not for him. But he took that peek, and now he knew he was getting close, because once he got onto the track, he says, uh-oh. He's reaching back there. It takes a while to get used to your park.
And when you get to that part of that warning track out there in straightaway deep center field, it looks, because of the corner, it might be a little bit wider than normal too.
Yeah, that's a pretty good sized warning track.
You start thinking, okay, 1, 2, 3 steps, and all of a sudden you feel like you might be at the wall if you're Bradley Zimmer with his strides.
Right. He was, yeah, he just didn't have a chance to take a second peek out there.
With 2 down, and Adam Rosales down in the count, 0-2. Bauer trying to put a quick end to this A's uprising. And a foul out of play.
Oh, ricochet. Nice hands.
Ryan Healy, the runner in scoring position. Adam Rosales getting the start at shortstop tonight. in place of Chad Pinder. Rosales, 4 hits in his last 38 at-bats, and 15 strikeouts piled up during that stretch. And the 1-2. Kipnis fields it on the big hop, fires the first. The inning is over. But Oakland draws first blood tonight. 1-0, middle of the second. Well, as we talked about it earlier, if you're a fan of Major League Baseball and you've been kind of watching more of the national picture, this has been the story that everybody's been gabbing about all day. The brawl that ensued yesterday after Hunter Strickland drilled Bryce Harper. Harper charged the mound. Even though Harper was the guy who charged the mound, he only got 4 games. Strickland got 6, which tells me that the Dean of Discipline looked at this and said, okay, Strickland definitely was the instigator.
Yeah, well, yes, I would agree with that.
High pop up, right side, might be playable. Joyce is in, and Alonso, no sir, cannot get to it. This is what happened yesterday. Now, people are pointing to a home run that Harper hit off Strickland a few years ago in the playoffs and felt that Strickland threw at him intentionally. I mean, Bryce Harper landed a pretty good right hand, and then the bench is emptied.
Well, and then everybody, look at, he's nowhere near the brawl, and he's the one that charged him on, and this is where Strickland went berserk.
Right into base.
There you
Great
go.
field for Edwin Encarnacion. He's got a leadoff single, and that extends his hitting streak to 9 games.
Well, and take what they give you, and he certainly did right there. Pretty swing here by Edwin to go the other way. It was a breaking ball. He stayed on it beautifully. And there's a nice leadoff single here in the second inning. I like that swing a lot. That'll force him now maybe to get something on the inner part of the plate.
And it brings up Jose Ramirez, who continues to sizzle here at home, batting .376. That's the top home batting average in the league. After a 3-for-3 performance with 2 doubles yesterday.
Yeah, he's starting to warm it up. Back-to-back 3-hit games. And he's using the whole field. And that's when this team came alive a couple of days ago when they had the 17 base hits. And now actually over the last 2 games, 27 hits, 9 to each field. 9 to left, 9 to center, 9 to right. So they're using the whole field. Yeah. And they mixed in a few home runs, even though yesterday they only had 1 hit with a runner in scoring position. And they've done that 27 times, 1 or no hits with runners in scoring position. But when you get 3 home runs in a well-pitched game, that certainly helps.
Posey comes up empty, and it's 1-2.
This is his changeup here, and it's got great movement. It's 90 miles an hour, and he throws 94, but that bottom just fell out. So that's another pitch that you have to think about as a hitter. Not only the curveball too, but that one. That's the good curveball.
And Ramirez did well just to get a piece of that.
Well, and we said you spit on that, or that's what you want to do. But when you get to 2 strikes, sometimes you can't.
Now the 1-2. In the dirt, nicely blocked by Healy. 68 degrees tonight under mostly cloudy skies.
See, this is that pitch. It's like a splitter. That's the changeup where he takes something off the fastball, but it's a field pitch. So he spreads the fingers a little bit. It doesn't get there at 94, anywhere from 90 to 92, but you can see the downward movement.
Two. And a chopper foul, first base side. Speaking of home runs, which the Indians gave up 3 solo shots yesterday, but they hit 3 solo shots of their own, and then they had the 1 hit with a runner in scoring position and a sac fly ultimately ended up the difference in the game. But the Tribe has homered now in 14 consecutive games, while Oakland has homered in 10 in a row. Hit hard and just foul.
You remember when the Minnesota Twins came to town here, that they ended up homering in 16 consecutive games earlier.
I think a lot of us are anxious to see how Minnesota responds after losing that 15-inning game and then an 11-run 8th inning they surrendered yesterday. 2-2. Fouled back.
Boy, he's putting up a really nice at bat, fouling off some good pitches.
It's the kind of at bat you expect every time Ramirez comes up. Outside, he missed, full count. And these are the kind of at bats from a guy like Jose Ramirez, who tonight is hitting 6th. These are the kind of at bats that can show up later in the game. The kind of at bats where you force that pitcher to have to work so hard you can really wear him down, grind him down. And then maybe it doesn't break for Ramirez, but a couple of batters later, maybe the next inning, all these extra pitches he's throwing and how hard he has to work, it might show up somewhere else.
Well, you're right. This has been a great at bat no matter what happens, but when you have this kind of at bat, you certainly would like to end it on a positive note and get a hit, especially with nobody out after the leadoff single by Encarnacion.
And the 3-2 is hit on the ground right at the second baseman Lowry to Rosales, back to first, a double play.
Well, Live Indians baseball is back this season with the MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download the #1 app for live baseball. That's MLB.com at bat. That's the 3rd double play for Sonny Gray.
And Bradley Zimmer steps in, 1 for 4 with a double yesterday. In the dirt, ball 1. Bottom fell out of that changeup, and it's 1-1. Same pitch, same result. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, you swing at that pitch like it's going to be a normal fastball, and then at the end, that bottom, it just drops.
Now he throws him the curveball with 2 strikes. And then he bounced it, so it count evens up at 2-2.
Send along some birthday wishes to Bernadine Butt of Wadsworth, who is turning 94 today, and Edna Flick of Minerva, 85. Happy birthday to you both.
Don't suppose she's any relation to Elmer Flick, do you?
I don't know. I would think that maybe she would have told us if she was.
That's a good point. 2-2 in the dirt. So good patient approach here from Bradley Zimmer. The changeup is what got him to swing and miss earlier in the at-bat, and that's what Fegley was calling for just as Zimmer called timeout. See if they change their mind or they stay right with that changeup. Into left field, right at Davis. Inning over. 2 complete, 1-0 Oakland. Go to the third, our player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. A pair of aces, former first-round picks. Sonny Gray, 18th overall pick. Trevor Bauer, the 3rd overall selection out of the same draft. And what a gold mine that 2011 draft was. Rajay Davis struck out his only time up. Looks at the curveball, and it's high, ball 1. Missed up high. Back out of play. Garrett Cole was the #1 pick in the 2011 draft, the right-hander from the Pirates. Trevor Bauer went third. Dylan Bundy went to the Orioles with the 4th pick. Bubba Starling was 5th. He's with the Royals. Anthony Rendon 6th to the Nationals. Chopper in the hole. Backhanded by Lindor. Throws him out by a whisker.
Boy, you're right.
Archie Bradley went 7th in that pick to the Diamondbacks. That guy right there, Frankie Lindor, 8th overall. Javier Baez was 9th, and on and on and on. Let's get on to Andre, who has more.
Well, I'm glad you went through the order because I had to go through that with Francisco Lindor earlier today. Some people take pride in their cars, their teammates, their shoes. Francisco Lindor takes pride in the 2011 draft and what it's been able to do and what it's been able to become so far this year. He says he pays attention to what every guy does in that draft, and he loves watching what Sonny Gray does. He goes, even though you want to do this for me, Cookie? He just loves this draft. He appreciates what this draft has been able to do so far.
Well, there's a smash to Lindor, and he takes care of Trevor Plouffe. 2 quick outs. Well, Andre, as you know, I mean, you've covered the NFL. You've followed basketball closely throughout your career. The baseball draft is the biggest crapshoot of them all. It doesn't matter if you're a first-round pick. You still are no guarantee to make it, unlike in some of the other sports.
Right. Well, the thing Frankie said is going into that draft, he paid so much attention to the other guys because he knew he was going to be in the top 10. And he didn't know how these guys were going to work. So he says as he's watched all these guys come through, he's okay with going 8 when he sees the other guys. You know what I mean? He said when he was taking 8 in the draft, he was kind of like, hey, I'm better than that guy, or I'm better than this guy. And then he goes, but now he goes, every guy went where they were supposed to go. And then he laughed. He said, except Bauer. It was a joke.
Well, that pretty good ball players, and it didn't take a lot of them long to get to the big leagues.
Check, did he go? He did not. How about some other names, Arch? Jackie Bradley Jr. He was a supplemental first-round pick, 40th overall. Trevor Story was 45th overall.
Yeah.
Michael Fulmer, 44th overall.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter how high you're picked. It doesn't guarantee, as you said, anything. I get a kick out of watching guys come in the 20th round that, you know, that are superstars.
Mookie Betts was a 5th-round pick that year. Kyle Hendricks was an 8th-round selection. He pitched in the World Series last fall. Strike call and a full count. Go get that bat, young man.
Yeah. Well, a hitter doesn't do that if he doesn't think it's obviously a ball. Well, maybe that's redemption for the curveball last inning to Alonso. I don't know. But it brings him back into the batter's box. He still has 1 strike left now. And now if he makes it out, he's still going to be mad at the umpire.
3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, inning over. Trevor Bauer gets his 4th strikeout. The A's go 1-2-3 as Francisco Lindor has a couple of assists, and it's 1-0 Oakland. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Roberto Perez will lead off the home half of the third for the Indians. Then Daniel Robertson and Jason Kipnis due up third. Sonny Gray's given up a hit in each of the first 2 innings, but both singles. And a fastball in there for strike 1. If the Indians are going to make hay, you would expect it to be here in the 3rd inning. This has been their best inning by far this year. They have outscored their opponents by 30 runs in the 3rd, including 9-0 on this current homestand. They've scored at least 1 run in every 3rd inning on the homestand. And sometimes those stats, like the innings you score, it's not just a coincidence. You can look at it and like, well, maybe that's where the lineup turns over for the 2nd time. Like yesterday, for example, Austin Jackson was batting 9th, and he led off the 3rd inning with an opposite field home run. Now, you don't see many established veteran players like Austin Jackson batting 9th in a lot of lineups, but he's a guy that has a plan, and
he's been swinging
track
very
record,
well.
knows what he's doing when he's up there at the plate.
Well, it's amazing. Some pitchers, they may be able to waltz through maybe sometimes the middle part of the lineups, and
struggle with
the bottom part that can give you some problems.
Maybe they take a breath, think they can just kind of relax.
Maybe their concentration is not as intense right there, thinking, okay.
Great dial that fastball up to 96. And Perez had a good whack at it, following it straight back into the sweets.
Put a little extra, thinking you could throw it by him. That's when you save the juice. When you got somebody on 3rd base and you need to reach back and get that little extra. Cleveland has fouled off 8 2-strike pitches.
Low and away.
That's the pitch he used a lot in his last start against the Marlins to get all the strikeouts. Told you 11. That's the most he's had this year. 3rd time he's been in double digits. Not this year.
Oh man, he just buried him with a fastball right down Broadway. 2nd strikeout for Gray.
He ended up taking 3 fastballs in that at bat.
Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Really, really, really bad news for the LA Angels. Mike Trout going to have surgery. It's an ulnar collateral ligament in his thumb, and so he's done for it could be 2 months.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks.
Daniel Robertson trying to bunt his way aboard. It's going to trickle foul. Here's what happened to Mike Trout.
Watch, it doesn't look like he really does anything bad, just trying to go in hand first.
He just caught it.
Right. People don't realize how hard those bases are when they put out there on the field.
That just looked like he jammed his thumb. It's like, we've all done that how many times?
Yeah, well, he stayed in the game. He ended up coming out after it.
At the rate of speed that he's going into 2nd base, most of us can only dream of running that fast. So that might have had something to do with the force with which he jammed that thumb into the bag. Daniel Robertson, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down here in the 3rd, 1-0 Oakland. Jam job to first. 2 quick outs.
KeyBank Kids tickets are located in the family deck out at Progressive Field, and it's right by the expanded Kids Clubhouse. They start at just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket, and they are only available online at Indians.com.
Jason Kipnis grounded out his first time up. And a ground ball, and all going to be close, but Gray's there to take the throw, and the inning is over. 3 complete. It's Oakland 1, Cleveland nothing.
Series against Oakland. You can grab a $13 district ticket that is presented by Sports Time Ohio, or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket. They are only available online though. Just go to Indians.com.
Chris Davis to lead off for Oakland here in the 4th. And a tapper foul. Third base side. Now the 1-1 to Davis, and it's fouled off to the right.
This swing, when you look at his swing, I mean, he's got that slight uppercut, but he waits on the ball. He has got amazing power to right center field, to the big part of the ballpark.
Up the middle, diving attempt by Kipnis, but couldn't get there. And a leadoff single for Chris Davis here in the 4th.
Second time in 4 innings they've had their leadoff man aboard. They did it in the second leadoff walk, and they ended up scoring. But here you get that fastball upstairs that he was able to get on top of and hit it on the ground, and it goes right up the middle. They were pretty much straight up for him all the way, and you have to be. He's not a pull hitter.
Yonder Alonso walked and scored the only run of this game in the 2nd inning. Left center, that's in the gap, and it's down. Brantley cuts it off, and he holds Chris Davis to second base. But the first 2 A's are aboard here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, he wasn't quite sure that that ball was going to get in the gap. He knew it wasn't driven that way. It was placed perfectly between the two. Brantley cuts it off, but he could not take a chance if he caught it to get doubled off. I mean, it split him just perfectly. And Brantley gets it. So it's first and second now with the back-to-back singles. That's 4 hits now for Oakland.
And Ryan Healy, who's in a pretty good groove right now, 4 for 5 in the series. Three singles and a home run. Driven to deep right field. Robertson racing back. It's over his head. It'll one-hop the fence. Around third, Chris Davis going to be waved home. And the throw way off line. He will score. Backed up by Bauer. And it's 2-0 Oakland as Healy picks up his 24th run batted in on the year with his 12th double of the season and 3 straight hits for the A's to open the 4th.
Well, he hit that ball hard and it went a long way as it short hops the wall. There's one middle of the plate. Not a good pitch. Might have been a changeup. Well, it comes down and it short hops the wall. I'm thinking that's the same pitch that Lowry hit to left field in the back of the first inning. They weren't going to get Davis at home plate, that's for sure. So relay comes in, so they have one in, still second and third, and nobody out.
And the infield in for Cleveland. Matt Joyce, the batter. An RBI ground out his first time up. In the dirt, blocked by Perez. Bauer got out of a jam in the second inning, limiting Oakland to just a run. If he can do that here, he will be really pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Line drive right field. Robertson racing in. He dives, makes the catch, gets up, fires home, but no chance to get the runner as Alonso scores to make it 3-0 Oakland.
Yeah, he did a nice job just to make the catch. You know, to get up and throw, not going to happen. It was a good job of base running where you stay put, you stay on the base, and he does get the glove underneath him. So it'll be a sacrifice fly for Joyce. He gets his job done. They're testing this inning. Hitter before hits it over his head. This guy's trying to hit it in front of him. He made the catch though.
But Oakland's starting to square it up here in this 4th inning.
Yes, they are.
Josh Phegley with a runner at second and 1 out. Fly to deep center. His only time up. There's the big curveball. Can't get it called though. 1-1. That time it is called, and it's 1-2. Phegley with a hit in 6 of his last 22 at bats. But only 1 run and 2 driven in over that time. Strike 3 called, and there are 2 down in the inning. 5th strikeout of the game for Bauer. T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball break. Cody Bellinger for the Dodgers hit his 11th home run of the season. Out to a nice start to his career.
Yes, he is. We're going to look at the Dodgers next homestand.
Here is Adam Rosales, grounded out his only time up. And he lines it at Lindor, who can't come up with it. And around third, coming home to score is Healy. Here's the throw, and they got him! Brantley with a perfect strike to Roberto Perez, cutting down Ryan Healy at the plate to end the inning. That could be a huge game changer. As it stands, it's Oakland 3, Cleveland nothing. $25 pairs of tickets or the grand prize of a VIP experience to the Luke Bryan concert right here at Progressive Field on July 15th. Enter the sweepstakes right now at foxsportsohio.com.
It's over All-Star break, huh?
That is, I don't know.
I think it is.
Not looking that far ahead, Arch.
Yeah, you are. I know where you'll be. You'll be in Toronto.
Francisco Lindor grounded out his only time up. By the way, Andre, the next time you talk to Frankie about that 2011 draft, how about this one? The 979th overall player selected in that draft was Kevin Pillar.
Ooh,
32nd
really?
round pick by the Blue Jays.
No kidding.
Wow. The other one that jumps out to him is George Springer.
Yeah.
And Dante Bichette Jr.
Jr., yeah.
Did you see that name?
I did. That
Well,
kind of jumps out at you, doesn't it?
Yeah. He didn't know who that was when I brought it up to him.
Oh,
that
man.
tells you age.
Yes.
That tells you the difference in our age.
Yes.
He looked at me and he goes,
Who's
I go,
that?
Rockies. And he goes, did he hit a lot of home runs? I go, yeah, a bunch of them.
Your age. Your age you're worried about.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't know your age.
You know, the other thing, too, that 2011 draft, obviously we're always going to remember for Francisco Lindor. Cody Allen was a 23rd round pick that year.
It's an amazing draft. It really is an amazing draft because you can go through these names all night.
Frankie draws the leadoff walk. Michael Brantley showing a great throwing arm in left field to end this inning.
Well, that ball was smoked because it gets by Lindor, and then Michael comes in all the way in the air, baby. Not a way to go. Nice throw by Michael. Cuts off the run. And that should pump Bauer up, especially now if these guys can come back and score.
He threw like he was angry. Like, you're going to run on me? All right. Okay. He saw that third base coach saying, come on, let's go.
Well, with 2 outs, you got to send them. They're up by 2 and they get a 2-out base hit. You got to send them.
And you send him right on into the dugout. Brantley squaring to bunt. Pulls it back. Michael extending his hitting streak to 14 games with a 2-out single in the first.
Talked about yesterday about how this Oakland team is a team you can run on with their catchers, but you know you have to be careful now. You go into the middle part of the lineup, you're down 3 runs early. You don't want to make out any outs on the bases. A little different if you have the lead and you can be a little more aggressive.
Indians have had 3 runners reach first base in the game. Nobody has made it to second yet. Down in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Michael Brantley came into today 10th in the American League now in batting average. He hasn't had a blistering streak, but as Rick says, a hit a day keeps the slump away. And he is out looking at that pitch. Sonny Gray with his 3rd strikeout, 1 down.
Well, you're going to see a fastball down in the zone. There it is, outside edge. Slice the edge of the plate. So Michael takes the call 3rd. That's out number 1 here in the bottom half of the 4th.
And up comes Carlos Santana. Santana struck out his first time up. He bunts. It gets by Gray, and that's going to be an infield single for Santana.
Now I love that. It's a heads-up move right there. He got it past the pitcher.
I think that's what Michael Brantley was thinking about doing on the first pitch of his at-bats, but the pitch went down and in, and he didn't offer at it.
Now you see where they're giving him all third base. He didn't have to put down a perfect bunt. Once it gets by Sonny Gray, it's golden. There's the third baseman making the play at shortstop. What's it do? It gives you 2 runners on base, and it brings a tying run to the plate. That's what it does. Now let's see how they defend him the next time he comes up. That's beautiful. That's the first time we've seen him do that.
Well, here's Edwin Encarnacion. Representing the tying run at the plate. He singled into right field his first time up. Just kind of punched it through the hole on the right side. Extending his hitting streak to 9 games in a row. Last night he hit a mammoth home run to straightaway center field. Estimated at some 450 feet. But that ball might have knocked the lineup card out of Frank Robinson's hand. The new statue in Heritage Park. Low and away. This was the home run last night. Watch this baby take off.
Yeah, over the cement wall up there. Over the first row of trees.
First time the Indians have had a runner reach second base in the game. And the 1-1 on its way low downstairs. It's 2-1.
They may have had a little play on there. Lowry at second base. You see where Fegley came up and looked. Even though that ball sort of short hopped the dirt. Looked like they may have wanted to throw behind Frankie at second.
He didn't want to offer at it. He was kind of caught in between, hoping it was going to miss high, but it's called a strike. 2-2. All those hits with runners in scoring position. One day so plentiful, the next day so hard to come by. Not a point. Encarnacion has hit 6 home runs here in the month of May. He's driven in a dozen. And the 2-2 pitch lined into left field. Lindor hits third. He'll come home and score. The Indians are on the board. It's a 3-1 ball game. And there's that hit with a runner in scoring position. The second hit of the inning. And the Indians cut into Oakland's lead.
Now that's what you call manufacturing a run right there, with the leadoff walk to Lindor. Then Santana bunts past the pitcher, and Encarnacion hits a very good breaking ball, but stayed on it and gets it in there. That base hit with a runner in scoring position. Let's see how this inning unfolds now, because they have really manufactured a run, and you're going through the heart of the lineup doing that. That's something you really haven't seen a whole lot. That's beautiful.
Up comes Jose Ramirez. He grounded into a double play his first time up. That's just the 6th hit in 49 at bats now that Encarnacion has been able to deliver a hit with a runner in scoring position.
And I like how last inning ended, throwing out the runner at home plate to get out of the inning instead of adding that 4th run on, and they come right back, and at least they get one with a chance to add some more.
Down and in. 1-1. Now Tom Bochenek pointed it out to us before the game that for Sonny Gray, first time through the lineup, it's been tough sledding for the opposition. Second time through, though, a little different story. Batting average for the opposition, .302 as opposed to a .154 first time around.
And all 4 of his home runs he's allowed has come the second time through the lineup. But as we told you, he started the year, there you're looking at the times through the lineup. He started the year on the DL, had some shoulder soreness, so it's only his 6th start. So he's sort of playing catch up. The Indians have an opportunity to put a crooked number on the board here. And they've got one of their hottest hitters up at the plate now.
Brought a .376 home batting average into tonight's game. In the dirt again, knocked down by Healy. And it's 3-1.
Well, he's not giving in here. He's trying to get Ramirez to swing at a pitch that.
Is that the mentality of Sonny Gray, knowing he's got a rookie on deck?
Yeah,
figuring,
I'm sure. It's not that he wants to walk him. We'll see on this 3-1 pitch. But he's thrown 9 balls that have been in the dirt, that splitter that he throws.
Let's see if he challenges Ramirez. Bounced it foul. Looked like a changeup.
It came back with that little split, and that's what we call his changeup.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as what we see maybe Salazar throwing.
But we've seen him throw it for strikes where he's got swings and misses, but when he really maybe widens the grip, that's when the ball hits the dirt a lot of times.
Well, he threw that one for a strike. He wasn't going to bounce it. And we'll see what he does here. He's probably going to try and throw it again for a strike.
Payoff pitch. Ripped fair down the right field line. Santana will score. Encarnacion around third. He'll hold there. It's an RBI double for Jose Ramirez. It's a one-run game.
He tried to sneak a piece of cheese past the rat, and he wouldn't let it. He wouldn't go for it. He threw him an inside heater, and I'm telling you, Jose's awfully quick. He's swinging it well. Look at that ball inside. He turned on it 94 after going the split route. And Jose was patient enough to wait till he gets his fastball. And boy, this inning, I really like how this inning was set up by the Indians, and now they're ready to cash in. Now you need Zimmer to come in here and just do something to get that runner in from third.
Well, it started with a walk to Francisco Lindor, and then after Brantley was called out on strikes, Santana with the shift on said, all right, I'll just bunt it past the pitcher's mound. He did for an infield hit.
Yes.
And then Encarnacion hooked one between third and short. Now Ramirez blisters one down the first base line, and here is Bradley Zimmer with the tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run at second base. Deep right field. Joyce can't get it. Encarnacion ties the game. Ramirez gives the Indians the lead as Bradley Zimmer delivers a 2-run double to right. 4 straight hits in the inning for Cleveland.
This is going to be our hear right sounds of the game. Listen to the crack of the bat. Boy, what a nice swing. He left that one up and he jumped all over it. Boy, I'm just amazed how this inning is taking place. Love it.
Well, Rick, we talked about that split change, and at times he'll bounce it, but at times he's been able to throw it for a strike. The last time up, remember, Zimmer swung through it twice.
Yes, he did.
This time, I don't know if he was sitting on it, if the pitch was just a little more up in the strike zone, but he didn't miss it.
Well, you watch. I mean, that hit gave him swinging room. It wasn't in as much. It gave him some swinging room, and he likes to extend his arms. And he hit a rope. So back-to-back doubles, and they've got a 4 spot on the board, and they take the lead.
4 straight hits in the inning, and Roberto Perez steps in with Zimmer at second base and still only 1 out. Not a play to the right. So Sonny Gray, who dominated the Indians first time through the lineup, they were 2 for 9 against him with just 2 singles. But second time around, whoa, what a different story. But as you pointed out, the beauty of this inning is sort of the way it started and the way they just
manufacture it.
Carlos Santana said, I'm going to take the bunt. Here we go.
You take what's given. He started with the walk. Lindor walked, and then Encarnacion put on a very good at bat to get a breaking ball base hit.
Behind the bag at third, Plouffe. And Alonso did keep his foot on the bag, says first base ump Mark Ripperger. I'm sure the Indians will take a closer look at this and see if they want to challenge it. But for now, the call is out, 2 down. Zimmer had to hold at second base. Oh, that's tough to call. They say no challenge. I guess he must have kept that spike on the corner of the bag.
Probably not, you know, it was already called out, so you'd have to have really a lot of evidence if you wanted to overturn that.
And with 2 down, Daniel Robertson will be the batter. Low fastball, 1-0. That fastball evens the count of 1-1.
This has been a 27 pitch inning for Sonny Gray. So they have made him stay out there and work very hard to get through it.
And that was just foul.
Big turnaround on the end of last inning. If the Oakland put 2 on the board, they had a chance to put more on the third one, and Michael Brantley's throw gets them out of the inning, and they come up and they turn it around to a 4 spot. Big turnaround in the ball game, that 4th inning.
Two down, runner at second, and the 1-2 pitch to Robertson. Low and away. As I said, Sonny Gray really cruising through the first 3 innings. He retired the side in order in the 3rd. Got a double play ball, so he only faced 3 in the 2nd, and only 4 batters faced in the 1st inning. But here in the 4th, 4 straight hits, producing 4 runs. Now the 2-2. Slowly chopped. Robertson hustling over, but Gray beats him to the bag to end the inning. 8 men come to the plate. The Indians score 4 times. Encarnacion, Ramirez each drive 1 home. Zimmer drives in a pair. To you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. Made in Ohio, Ohio proud. Another gorgeous evening here at Progressive Field. Game time temperature 68 degrees. And many of the clouds that were here right at game time have moved off to the west, or to the east, I guess. Light breeze blowing out toward right center. Rajai Davis a swing and a foul, tip back into the mask of Roberto Perez. Rajai 0 for 2 tonight.
What Oakland has done with Trevor Bauer, they have 6 hits. 4 of them have come on the first pitch, so they're looking maybe fastball early and trying to get aggressive on him.
Swung out and missed. He's had a good curveball tonight. And there have been a couple of times where he's thrown what have appeared to be curveballs for strikes, but that big high break, he just hasn't gotten a call a few times. And he got Davis to go fish. 6 Ks for Bauer, 1 down in the 5th. on this date, 1977. Dennis
Great
Eckersley
picture, isn't it?
fired a no-hitter. Is that baseball? What are we looking at?
I know it. That's right. Eck had his no-hitter. Memorial
you
Day
can see
in
Buddy Bell. Look how
1970.
white his hair is.
Yeah, I mean it was Ray Fosse was doing the catching. He does the games with Oakland, and
Buddy's as blonde as they come, huh?
oh yeah, yes he was. But that was a good ball game.
Well, I'd have to take your word for it.
Yeah, I know. That's about the only thing we talked about. There's Ray. He was the catcher of that ball game. I was talking to him tonight. He was sitting this far, about a foot off the plate, because X throwing his slide, and he was facing Bobby Bonds, who was over there. And he said, Bonds turned back to the umpire and says, "Can you make him get in a little bit closer before I swing?"
Well, Rick, tell the story, because I don't remember the numbers, but not only was Eckersley in no-hit form that night, but he was in the midst of an incredible stretch there.
He almost tied, I think it was Cy Young's record, where it was 22 1/3 no-hit innings. He went like 8 innings the start before that. He did that one, and then he went up to Seattle and had a no-hitter for like going into the 6th inning.
Swung and missed. He held on to the foul tip. Back-to-back Ks for Trevor Bauer here in the 5th inning. That gives him 7 on the night. Napa know-how. 13th no-hitter in Indians history. And there it is. It was part of a 22 1/3 inning hitless streak.
It was unbelievable, and they scored the only run in the 1st inning on a squeeze bunt. They had 4 other hits throughout the course of the game. We looked it up today. Rico Cardi had a pair. Bruce Bhakti had a hit, and somebody else had a hit.
And we were talking about that. We had a game earlier this year that was a rarity, where Seattle scored 3 in the top of the 1st, Indians scored 4 in the bottom of the 1st, and that was it for the rest of the game.
Yes, that's right.
But a no-hitter, that's special. And to have a string there of 22 1/3 no-hit innings.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because the only back-to-back no-hitters ever thrown was
Johnny Vandermeer
in the National League by Johnny Vandermeer of Cincinnati.
Well, that's like Orioles' consecutive shutout innings streak.
Was that 56?
58? 59 or something like that. Yeah. I mean, that's some kind of roll.
The cool thing about that is it was Don Drysdale's record that he broke, and Drysdale was there because it was a Dodgers thing when he did it.
Well, they got another guy, Wood, the left-handed pitcher over there now, that's got about I think a 30-inning string going.
Close pitch. That could have very easily been another strikeout for Bauer. Looking for number 8 on this, his 80th pitch of the night. Got him. Bauer retires the side in order for the 2nd time in the ballgame. He has fanned 8 A's batters. Halfway through, it's 4-3 Cleveland. The stat of the game tonight is brought to you by Buick. On the year, first time through the order, Sonny Gray has yielded a 154 batting average. They were 2 for 9 against him tonight. Second time through, the average bumps to 302. They went 4 for 8 with a walk.
Well, there's something to it, maybe.
High fly ball center field in deep. Rajay back at the wall, and it is gone. Jason Kipnis with his 6th home run of the year. And it's a 5-3 Indians lead. He got that one high in the air. Rajay looked like he was tracking it for a moment and then had no shot to get it. So Kip stays locked in that leadoff spot.
Oh, yeah, that one was right down the middle. He did what he was supposed to with it. He gave it a ride. Number 6 for Kip.
All 6 of his home runs have come since he moved into the leadoff spot. And that gives the Indians a home run in 15 in a row.
Yeah, that's right. The Indians tonight 4 for 4 on the first pitch from Sonny Gray as well.
Talking about Jason Kipnis was talking to Ty Van Berkeley, Indians hitting coach, and it was interesting. You know, you heard Andre talking earlier about how some of the hitters felt like Sonny Gray's fastball had some cutting action to it, and Vambo said, "I don't know what they're talking about. I don't see any cutting action." But you know, sometimes, Rick, when you're in the batter's box, you may see something that doesn't maybe show up on video.
That's true, and that ball could move late on you. You know, until you're in that little white box, that you can look at it on TV and you just never know.
Just like as a hitter, you might go up there and say, man, it looks like his ball's rising. It looks like it's riding up in the strike zone. And we all know that with a lot of physics that doesn't happen.
But I mean, deception.
It has
it looks
the
like
look
it.
of it.
It appears it does.
Right.
And you know, that's all it has to do, because once it's in your mind, you believe it.
And Lindor again draws a walk. That's what started Sonny Gray's downfall in the 4th inning.
It sure did. He's walked 2, both Lindor.
The in-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. Ryan Healy with an RBI double. That helped stake Oakland to a 3-0 lead. Then Jose Ramirez got the Indians rolling. Bradley Zimmer drove in a pair. Part of a 4-run 4th inning. Actually, it was Encarnacion that really got it started with the first RBI hit in that inning. Then Ramirez, then Zimmer. And now the homer by Kipnis here in the 5th.
We didn't even show the Santana little toki there, the bunt man that set it up.
Beautiful, beautiful thing. I know who will show it. Al. Al will show the bunt.
Oh yes, after the game.
Did you see him jump? I scared him.
He's talking to
thought,
himself.
Oh, he thought, am I on?
See, that's what
am I
happens
on?
when you get on your phone, you just keep worried about something else, not paying attention. All you have to do is get into his ear.
Al, show the bunt.
Ask him if that.
Show the bunt tonight. There we go. Archie wants to see all bunts all the time.
Well, that one for sure.
Lindor draws the attention of both Sonny Gray and Josh Phegley. Alonso holding him on. He's off. In the dirt, no chance.
There you go.
He steals it easily. His 3rd stolen base on the year.
That's the pitch you want to try and steal on, is that breaking ball or that splitter that's in the dirt. Awfully tough as a catcher to pick it and throw it. Couldn't do it, so Lindor is going to get his 3rd stolen base.
Foul right back. Puts Brantley in the hole, 1-2. Indians up 5-3, and they have played so well this year against the American League West.
Boy, have they ever.
They've gone 11-2 so far. They're averaging 5.5 runs a game. And you look up, here they are with 5 runs halfway through.
Yeah, like that number.
Brantley shoots it into left field. Lindor hits third. They're going to wave him home. And he will score without a throw, as all Chris Davis can do is lob it in towards second. And the Indians have tallied 6 against Sonny Gray on an RBI single by Michael Brantley here in inning number 5.
Well, you know, going into this game, any base hits to left field, you're going home, fellas. I'm sorry. Davis can't throw, and he doesn't even attempt to throw. And I mean, you watch, Lindor didn't get the greatest of jumps. He's getting the ball. He just laid back on it, Matt. He didn't really even charge the ball. He was just content on throwing it to second base. So the Indians aggressively take an extra run, and it's 6-3, and it's just a matter of time to get that bullpen warm now. This offense is in gear. Let's look up at that 4th inning. That's how it started on a ball 4. And then there's the little Toki, gets it past Gray, beats it out. Now you got something rolling, and a very good at bat. You get the base hit RBI to get the first one. Ramirez, who's swinging a hot bat, doubles, and then right behind him is Zimmer. He doubles as well. And I mean, it's infectious, man. It just kicked in, and it was a terrific inning.
Most runs allowed this year by Sonny Gray, and this is 6th start of the year. And Brantley took off, and he steals a base.
Yeah, now they're on the run, baby. Look out. They're feeling good.
So the Indians with 4 in the 4th, 2 more here in the 5th.
Nice job.
And looking for more.
How about Michael leading the team with 6 stolen bases now? Off and running. Keep the pressure on. Still nobody out.
Down low, and we'll go down to Andre Knott, who wants to talk about Michael Brantley, I guess.
I'll take his check. Don't worry. I'll let him know you said that. No, I congratulated him on his 100th steal the other day, and Brantley gave me that look that he can only give when I said it. And then I laughed, and I go, and he reminded me of Arch when I said this. And I go, well, what does stealing bases and leading the team and stealing stolen bases mean to you? He said, they're going to give it to me. I'm taking it. He goes, it's that simple.
Yeah.
And I thought of you, Arch. He was like, if this is there, why would I not take it? And he goes, I see it. I'm taking it.
Good for him. And now a little ground ball here is at least going to get him over to third base. And now you have an opportunity with 1 out to get another run on the board. And this is how you separate yourself from teams where you can get in there, and if they took the lead at the 4-3 lead, now they add a couple more. You get this one in here, and that's going to be a heck of a job. They got to bring the infield in, and you got Encarnacion coming up, who has a couple of singles. He got him going last inning with the big RBI base hit.
Frankie Montes is up in the bullpen for Oakland, a right-hander. But Sonny Gray trying to work his way through with the infield in and 1 out, and Encarnacion at the plate. Swung on and missed. This tells you everything you need to know about how hard he swings the bat. The third baseman Plouffe said, you guys play in, I'm playing back.
Yeah, you go right ahead. I've got a note from my doctor that says I can't play on the grass at third.
I like my teeth just the way they are. Thank you.
No, I wouldn't want to play in with guys like this hitting either.
And it gets it by Fegley. Coming home to score, Dr. Smooth, 7-0 Cleveland.
Okay, it's a moot point now because he ends up throwing the wild pitch, his 3rd wild pitch on the season, and he throws a lot of them. I think he led the league last year in wild pitches. He had about 14 or 15, and this one's going to get under the glove, and it's going to catch some dirt, and he didn't stay down. He could have blocked that ball. It will be a wild pitch, though.
It is a wild pitch, but as you pointed out, it's been a problem for Oakland this year. Just the defense has been porous at times.
Yeah, it's tough to.
To third base, backhanded by Plouffe. And a good strong throw to get him. 2 away. And that's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. who fly to left in the second, and then he turned one around, smoked it just down the right field line, just past Yonder Alonso at first base for an RBI double, and that really had the joint jumping. And he strokes a single to center field. Off the heels of a 3-for-3 performance yesterday, he's got 2 more hits tonight.
Hey, since that bobblehead came out, look out. He's been bombing them. That bobblehead. We're going to have a Jose Ramirez bobblehead next homestand as well.
Let's rename him the Blonde Bomber.
That's beautiful, and that's going to be it for Sonny Gray.
The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made. Sonny Gray, so long. Frankie Montes enters when we return. The way the Indians are swinging the bats tonight. Sonny Gray would like to forget the last 2 times anyway he's faced the Indians. 14 runs in 8 innings.
Well, we did say he was playing catch up, but he was coming off his best start of the year. 7 innings, 3 hits, allowed 1 run, and struck out 11. So he had to work, but they stuck to their game plan. We talked with Andre. Andre says we're going to lay off that curveball, take anything that spins. He went to a lot of splitters and that fastball, and they were, you know, they hung in there.
Bradley Zimmer steps up, 2-run double his last time up. When we came on the air tonight, we showed some highlights of Sonny Gray. Deep left field, it's back, caught by Chris Davis. His last start against Miami, they were chasing everything he threw that was in the dirt.
Yes, they were.
The Indians have been more disciplined tonight, and it has paid off handsomely. Tribe with 3 more in the 5th, and they lead it 7-3. And for one of the few times, at least it seems that way, Trevor Bauer's got a little breathing room in a ball game. He did have 3 starts ago against Minnesota. The Indians scored him 8 runs. But boy, it just seems like most of the times when he has pitched this year, they've been nail biters. Last time up, he left the game leading 3-2. Before that, he left leading 4-3. He had that start against Minnesota where they scored in the 8th. Prior to that, he left down 4-0, down 5-1. Before that, he left leading 5-4, leading 4-2. So most of the games he's pitched, they've been, you know, kind of games that have been hanging in the balance.
Well, they've given him 7 unanswered, and after they took the lead, Trevor came right back and struck out the side. So that showed him something right there. He said, "Thank you very much," and they went in and scored again.
But you know, you pointed it out. It was the throw by Brantley that ended the inning. Instead, it could have been 4-0, and they're still batting. That ends the inning. They come in, score 4, take the lead. Then he goes back out, punches out the side, and they come right back in and add on 3 more.
Yeah, they took it right away from him.
It's funny how this game sometimes it
little
can
things.
Turn
it's
on
the
one.
little things.
Yep.
You know, this is where they got to get their confidence and play in this ballpark like they did last year, and he struck out his 4th straight.
That's number 9 on the night.
You know, Trevor's averaging over 10 per 9 innings, but there's that curveball. He gets him to chase it. You know, and this is an Oakland club. If you make your pitches, you'll get a lot of swings and misses. If you make mistakes, they have an opportunity where they could hit you out of the ballpark too.
Yonder Alonso walked and scored in the 2nd. He singled and scored in the 4th. And as this guy continues to emerge, that's only going to make pitchers work a lot harder to get past Chris Davis when they know he's sitting right behind them.
Well, right, Davis, and you got Healy to follow him, who could put a pretty good swing on the ball.
We are seeing Ryan Healy red hot, locked in right now. And I mean, Alonso's very likely going to be the player of the month. Well, I shouldn't say that. Are you allowed to win if you play in Oakland?
Well, we'll have to. Well, we'll see how many people are
paying attention to what happens in Oakland.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I mean, if Aaron Judge, he's having an unbelievable year, and he plays in the media capital of the world. So.
Yeah, I hear you. Look at that.
Blistered. This guy's swinging it, folks.
He tried to throw it hard, and he hit it harder. Yeah, he stayed back nicely and drives it through.
He's been waiting patiently, and now he's up. Here's Al Pulaski with a game break.
And Matt, Rick, I tried really hard to find a Buns highlight for you. I couldn't. So we're going to go all-star worthy with the homer for Zach Kozar. He is all-star worthy. He's also put the Reds up 1-0. Votto hit one as well in the 1st. They're in the top of the 4th in Toronto. 2-0 Reds. So far, no bunts in this one.
No, Cincinnati don't bunt. They hit homers.
You got it.
7-3 here in the 6th with 1 on 1 out. Ryan Healy, who's already 2 for 2 with a single, a double, and an RBI. We'll see Cincinnati back here later this summer.
One day
for that
July
makeup game.
23rd. It is Monday, 7 o'clock.
60 of 90 pitches. Strikes so far for Trevor Bowers. That one is fouled back. So that's a good sight to see too, Rick. Just pounding the strike zone.
Yes, yes it is. You know, people talk about it. You know, he throws a lot of pitches, but you know, he's only walked 19 guys this year. That's down a lot for him. His strikeouts have been up. His walks have been down. This is his 4th straight game where he's thrown the ball very well.
Healy waved at it.
You know, and it's funny. If you remember earlier in the year, we talked about it with Andre. We've all, you know, he goes out there and he makes pitches where he feels, you know, he pitched better than what his numbers show. You know, and he can't believe that these guys are hitting some of those pitches. But here's a guy that continues to work at it. He never gives in and he never gives up. And now he's seeing the benefit of his work.
Struck him out, number 10. In 5 2/3 innings, he has punched out 10 Oakland hitters.
And this has been his weapon, man, the curveball. The curveball was a big thing when he faced Houston. But his last start when he went against Cincinnati. That curveball can be a big weapon, and there's a lot of Ks that he has tonight, 10 of them.
Look, diplomacy may not be his strong suit when it comes with dealing with reporters' questions after a ball game, in particular one in which maybe he didn't pitch as well as he wanted to, or people thought he should have pitched. But I think the point he was trying to make was, I feel like I'm making good enough pitches, and these numbers that are going against me, they're just out of whack, and they just don't make sense. And he just felt like the scales were tipped against him.
Hell, the baseball gods can be cruel.
That happens in baseball.
Baseball gods can be cruel.
I think now he would probably tell you that things are starting to come back to where they should, you know, more normal.
Don't think that. Just keep working hard.
Strike call. Remember, Andre, he dropped the BABIP and had people scratching their heads. Batting average on balls put in play. And he said there's no way it can remain that high.
You know, Trevor and I don't always get along on the day he pitches, but we can have some great conversations the days that he doesn't. He's taught me to look up stats that I never knew before. And when you go through them and you pay attention to them, and you know, Tito said this 2 seasons ago about Corey Kluber, if you guys remember. Everybody was saying, what's wrong with him? What's going on with him? And he kept saying, if you guys stop looking at the numbers that we just throw out there and look at the peripheral numbers, he's pitching as good as he did in his Cy Young Award winning season. Trevor's going through the same thing where the wins and losses in ERA aren't matching up to everything else he's doing. And that's what's giving him his confidence right now.
That and a whole lot of swings and misses. Strikeout number 11. Third time tonight he has struck out 3 in an inning. Lead. And the Indians will send Roberto Perez, Daniel Robertson, and Jason Kipnis to the plate against Frankie Montes here in the 6th. Swung on and missed. Chased one. I mentioned before, the Indians are trying to win their 5th straight at home against Oakland. And this has kind of been an interesting series over the years. When you think about Cleveland and Oakland, the last time that the Indians swept the season series from Oakland was back in 1994 and 95. In those 2 years, the Indians went 6-0 and 7-0 against Oakland. That's the only time that's ever happened for Cleveland. That's rifled deep right field into the corner, and it's a foul ball. Last year, the Indians swept a 3-game series from the A's here at Progressive Field. But just 2 years before that, Oakland came into Cleveland and swept a 3-game series.
Yeah.
The year before that, the Indians swept a 4-game series from Oakland here. The year before that, it was Oakland doing the same thing. It's amazing how these two teams can either beat the daylights out of one another and then flip around and do it just the opposite the year after.
Yeah, Oakland, they beat the Indians 2 out of 3 in Oakland.
Yeah, they did. And that was after the Indians had swept them here. And we went out there a couple weeks later, won the first game. I think it was like a 1-0 or 2-0. It was a really good, well pitched. Might have been Carlos Carrasco pitched really. And then Oakland hammered them the next game, and then hammered them again the game after that. But all time, Oakland has not had a lot of fun here at Progressive Field. The Tribe is 64-42 against him in this ballpark. Roberto goes down swinging. Hey, tune in tonight after the ball game, and then stick around after Indians Live for the Tribe Report. It's presented by GMC. Al and Jensen will recap the week, special interviews, plays of the week. It all happens right after Indians Live. I was looking back, your first couple of years, it couldn't have been a whole lot of fun facing Oakland. I mean, they were
winning the World Series.
They were coming off the heels of three in a row.
Yeah, they were.
Shoots it to first base. Alonso will flip it, beats Robertson to the bag, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, but back in about the mid-'70s is when the free agency attacked the Oakland A's, and Catfish went to New York, and then, you remember they traded, who was it, Fingers, Joe Rudy, and somebody else to Boston. The commissioner nixed the trade.
Oh, that's right.
Because he said, no, there was, I think there was over $1 million involved or something like that, and it just wouldn't let it happen.
Charlie Finley was somewhat of a renegade owner at that time.
Yeah, but he was one of the owners that says, hey,
make them all free agents.
Let them all become free agents. They'll overflood the market. It doesn't matter. It'll be better for us. And he was right. He would have been right.
Yeah, looking back, 1986, the Indians won 10 out of 12 against the A's. And then 3 years later, the A's won 10 out of 12 against the Indians.
Well, I remember when we went out there in the early 90s, we weren't a very good team, and we beat them. That's when they had Canseco, McGuire. That's when Chris James had the 9 RBIs in that one game. And
beat them 20-6 in 1991. I'll never forget that game. It was like, is this really happening?
And that's the year I think they lost 105 games. And yet you're going, holy smokes!
And they crushed the world champions in their own ballpark. Speaking of crush, Jason Kipnis to center field, but right at Rajay Davis, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 6 complete. 7-3 Tribe. brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by the stylish 2017 Kia Optima. (7-3) Cleveland. And Trevor Bauer goes to work here in the 7th inning, just shy of 100 pitches, so this will be his last inning of work. Brian Shaw is up in the bullpen. He's got the 8, 9, and leadoff hitters due up. Josh Phegley, Adam Rosales, Rajai Davis. Bauer has struck out 11 here tonight.
Yeah, and swings and misses tonight. You know, first time through the lineup, he had 3 swings and misses. Second time, he had 1, but the third time, 10 swings and misses. And his last 7 outs, have been strikeouts, because it was Michael Brantley that threw the guy out at home plate that ended that inning. But before that, it was this guy that struck out.
There's a strike called. It's 2-1.
Nice. 67% strikes. Would we have Tomlin the other day have 71%? That's beautiful. I think pitching coaches and everybody looks for at least 63% strikes. And let's see if they're starting to build off each other. Tomorrow it'll be Clevenger. Getaway day on Thursday afternoon will be Corey Kluber. Good pitch. A little bit off the edge.
Phegley bangs it foul, third base side. So Bauer with 11 strikeouts tonight. That's a season high. His career best came last year, and it was lost in the shuffle in a game against Toronto, because that was the night Tyler Naquin won the game with a walk-off inside the park home run. But Bauer punched out 13 in that game last year against Toronto. Imagine that. You get your career high in strikeouts and you get no decision.
Well, he did his job.
Yeah. Again, as Cody Allen has said, once the ball leaves your hand, it's out of your control.
Yeah, it's not much you can do about it.
Swung out and missed. Number 12 for Trevor Bauer.
He stays in there, he's got a chance.
His last 7 outs have all been via the K. That's 8 outs.
Yeah, 8 now. There it is. A nice little breaking ball on the outside edge, because I just said that Brantley threw that guy out, but the Phegley struck out before that.
Yeah, his last 8. Wow, that's incredible.
Nice.
Adam Rosales. It was his base hit in that 4th inning that turned the tide in favor of the Indians. How often will you ever say that? But his hit that went into left field initially looked like, Oakland's got 4 on the board. Sonny Gray's pitching a gem.
Yeah.
But instead, Brantley made the throw to the dish to end the inning as Healy was tagged out. And it's been all Cleveland ever since. The 1-2.
Yep.
Swung out and missed. Bauer equals his career best with his 13th strikeout of the night.
Well, I'll tell you what, he is dealing right now. He feels it. He's in a great rhythm. He just keeps executing. That breaking ball been phenomenal tonight. And it's just strikeout after strikeout.
The only thing that has kept him from striking out every hitter in the order consecutively was the Yonder Alonso base hit through the right side of the infield. Every other hitter in the order struck out the last time through. And now here's Rajai Davis.
I'll tell you what, he's not leaving anything in the tank, man. He is rearing back and saying, let's go.
Curveball and a pop foul out of play.
I'm hearing him grunt after every pitch.
Yeah. He wants this one.
Yes, he does. This will be a career high. That'd be awesome. Go get it, young fella.
Swung out and missed. He's got it. A roar from Bauer and a career best 14 strikeouts in 7 innings of work. Ball yard, especially for Trevor Bauer. Man alive. I can't imagine we've seen him any better than what he has pitched in the last 3 innings here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, he kicked it into a different gear. That was fun to watch.
The only thing that kept him from striking out 9 consecutive batters was a Yonder Alonso single in that 6th inning.
Yeah.
That's, you don't see pitchers generally get stronger, get better as the game goes on. But that's what
he was throwing harder. He was throwing harder in the 7th inning than he was probably during the game. He got up to 95 plus.
And I don't even see a bead of sweat. It's just, the man was born to pitch. The 2-1. A little high. Front office executive once told me many years ago, when you put a team together, the one thing you want is that when you lay your head down at night, you want to know that those guys that you put together on that roster, that they care. There's nothing worse than putting a team together and then you get guys who are like, oh well, I didn't pitch that well, or oh well, I struck out 4 times. You will never say that about Trevor Bauer. That guy, he cares, and sometimes he wears it on his sleeve, and sometimes he brings it to the media after a game when things don't go well. But it's nice to see him like that after a game, where he's smiling, talking to his teammates, not sitting there beating himself up over a pitch that he made to a certain batter in a certain situation that he maybe wanted to have back, or maybe stewing over a bad break that didn't go his way.
Well, he pitched well. He should be happy tonight. Everything came together. And you know what? I'll bet he can't wait till the next time he gets a chance to do it again, too, in 5 days.
Michael Brantley right after second baseman Lowry. And the A's turn to double play. Well, as promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. If you missed anything earlier, here's your game in a nutshell. Ryan Healy was trying to make it 4-0 Oakland. Brantley threw him out to end the inning, and the Indians came right back, scored 4 times to take the lead, and then Bauer absolutely dominated after that. And the Indians went right back out and added on, scoring 3 more in the 5th. And Bauer has just shut down Oakland. 7 unanswered as Santana breaks his bat. And the inning is over. 7 unanswered for the Indians offense, and a career best 14 strikeouts from Trevor Bauer. Telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (7-3) Cleveland on top, and Brian Shaw coming on to pitch after Trevor Bauer went 7 unbelievable innings with 14 strikeouts tonight. Shaw for the 23rd time this year.
This is what Tito's looking for, those starters to go a little deeper into the game. Now that bullpen responsible for 6 outs. But they have a nice cushion, 4 runs.
Trevor Plouffe 0 for 3, struck out twice. And he pulls it foul. The 14 strikeouts for Trevor Bauer tonight. Most in the American League this year. That's saying something when you consider some of the strikeout artists that have been piling them up this year. And the 1-2. Swung out and missed. Shaw picks up where Bauer left off. 1 down.
Well, Trevor Bauer tonight was unbelievable. When you go to his fast play at the low darts early in the ball game, went to the curveball after that, and he had a nice mix. He had those guys swinging. His last 10 outs came via the strikeout. He threw 53 pitches to 12 batters, 38 strikes, 13 swings and misses, 9 0-2 1-2 counts.
Lowry lines one into left field, and Brantley cuts it off. And Oakland has a base runner here in the 8th inning. Let's go down to Andre, who has more on Trevor Bauer.
Chris Jimenez, one time last year when he became kind of the guy that had to handle Trevor Bauer, told me, he says, it's like being a parent. Because sometimes you got to make him, Trevor, feel like it was his decision. And I think Roberto Perez has played into that a little bit his last 3 outings. And we talked about it tonight before the game of his curveball is good. He likes his curveball. It's one of the better ones in baseball. So against the Astros 3 starts ago, they let him set a lot of stuff up with the curveball. And tonight, as Rick just said, there was a lot of fastballs, but the curveball is the pitch that's really got him going in the mind of Roberto Perez.
No doubt, because you can tell how he's throwing it. He's throwing it with conviction. He gets ahead of them. When he gets ahead of the hitters, he gets them to swing and chase that pitch. But he's got to start out establishing that fastball to prove to the hitters he can throw it for strikes.
One ball, 1 strike. Chris Davis turning it loose, but comes up empty. Then a foul right back. Davis already among the top 10 in strikeouts in the American League. And a high fastball evens the count of 2-2. Oh, yeah. Got him looking at an off-speed pitch. Second strikeout for Shaw. Third of the night for Chris Davis.
Well, set him up with this slider that he throws right there. Goes to the inside part of the plate, and Perez is going to give him a good look at it. The umpire sits right there, and it sort of fooled him, I think. Coming inside.
Yonder Alonso has scored a couple of runs, and now he's got his 3rd hit of the night. When you're hot, you're hot. And this guy is having himself quite a month. 2nd and 3rd with 2 down.
He just muscled that ball out of there. I mean, for that thing to fall fair, it was like in slow motion. Ramirez was doing everything in his power. But you see down on the trademark, but he just put that swing and it just perfectly placed. You couldn't have thrown that ball out there any better. So it goes for a double. It's 2nd and 3rd now with 2 outs.
Mickey Callaway going to make his way to the center of the diamond. Andrew Miller is up in the Indians bullpen, getting hot in a hurry.
Well, time to place your votes to send the Indians to the 2017 All-Star game. It'll take place down in Miami. Fans can vote 5 times a day and up to 35 times total. Just go to Indians.com and cast your ballot.
There's Andrew Miller getting ready.
Send out some quick congratulations to Jim and Denise Sterling of North Royalton, celebrating their 36th wedding anniversary.
Oakland down 4, trying to claw their way back into it here in the 8th. But with 2 down, Brian Shaw trying to make sure that doesn't happen. But Ryan Healy has been a handful for everybody here lately. 2 for 3 tonight, RBI double in the 4th. A little late on that fastball, 1-1. Hits are even at 9 apiece. Oakland has stranded 4 so far. Indians have left 3. And a little high with a heater, 2-1. Blowing away. And it's 3 balls and a strike. Matt Joyce, left-handed hitter, waits on deck. We could see Andrew Miller if Shaw loses Healy.
I'm sure we will.
On the ground, Ramirez kicks it, and that's going to get a run home. He tracks the ball down, but instead of the inning being over, Lowry scores to make it 7-4. Alonso to third. Healy is safe on the air, and now the tying run is at the plate.
He didn't catch it in the glove. He ended up kicking it away from himself. So that's going to do it for Shaw, although the inning should be over. Defensively, they make their 27th error. So it's going to be Miller time.
So we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. 7-4 ball game, and Andrew Miller is next.
Tomorrow with a Defend Together t-shirt celebrating the Cavs' 3rd straight NBA Finals appearance. Get yours with an upper box or a reserve ticket. Purchased online only at Indians.com.
Andrew Miller coming on to pitch now for the Indians. And a pinch hitter for Matt Joyce. Right-handed hitter Mark Canha will bat for Joyce. He represents the tying run at the plate. And Miller gets ahead with a first pitch strike. Swung on and missed, just overpowered him. From an off-speed pitch to 96 with a heater. And Canha could not catch up.
Yeah, first pitch slider with about 82. This one 96. And throws it by him. Now he's go one of two ways. Stay with that heater, elevate it, or go back to that slider.
And the 0-2 got him. Andrew Miller makes quick work of Canha in the A's. 7-4 Cleveland. And Frankie Montes staying on for another inning of relief work. He's worked 2 1/3 scoreless. Defensively now for Oakland, Mark Canha, who pinch hit for Matt Joyce, stays on in right field. Here is Edwin Encarnacion, 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. That came back in the 4th inning. Encarnacion has now hit in 9 straight with 13 hits during his hitting streak. He lays off a high fastball.
Well, Edwin's been on 2 out of the 3 times tonight. A couple of singles.
And a low fastball at the knees for a strike. Montes trying to make it 7 straight scoreless outings out of the Oakland bullpen. High fly ball, deep right field. Canna is back at the wall, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Recapping our storylines brought to you by Mazda. Keep the pedal down. Well, the Indians, second time around, they were able to get to Sonny Gray, roughed him up, his worst outing of the year. And they have kept Oakland at bay. They've kept him in the ballpark,
and
which is a big thing.
Trevor had what, 6 straight starts where he had allowed at least a home run. Only one time he did not allow, and this is the second time, and he kept it in the ballpark tonight.
Well, it would appear that Andrew Miller faced one batter, and his night is done with Cody Allen up in the bullpen, getting ready to come on to pitch the 9th. Jose Ramirez, 2 hits, an RBI, a double, a run scored. Shoots it the other way, and his second consecutive 3-hit game for Jose Ramirez.
Is that his third?
Third in a row?
He had one this weekend, I know. I thought he had back-to-back, but he's been crazy getting 3-hit games. He's staying on the baseball very well. I mean, he's just hitting it where it's pitched. He is locked in.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row for Ramirez. So he has, let's see now, 11 hits in his last 20 at-bats.
Yeah, he was tied with Santana as far as 3-hit games goes. Now he takes the lead. He had 5. Now he's got 6. It was Lindor. He was the 3-hit man last year, where he had, what, 23 of them, I believe.
Now Bradley Zimmer, he had a key hit in that 4th inning, giving the Indians the lead in this game. He came to the plate. It was 3-2, and he roped a 2-run double to right field. He's very quietly done a nice job with hits in 3 straight games. And he's got 4 hits and 9 at-bats with runners in scoring position. There's a high drive to deep right field. Canna will watch this one sail out of here. Bradley Zimmer with his 2nd home run in the big leagues. A 2-run mammoth shot to right. And it's now 9-4 Cleveland.
Zimmer hits his second home run by the Tribe tonight. Check the pitch. That had to be a changeup upstairs, but he left it up, and it gave him some swinging room. And I'll tell you, Zimmer got his arms extended because he's throwing 98, 99. That ball was up. That's why I was thinking it was a changeup, but he smoked it.
So consider this. Zimmer came in with 4 RBIs in his first 12 big league games. He has 4 tonight. And Roberto Perez, a swing and a miss. It's 1-1. And now it's no longer a save situation, so Cody Allen has taken a seat, and Nick Goody is loosening up in the Cleveland bullpen. And Frankie Montes, his bid for another consecutive scoreless appearance just went into the right field seats.
Yeah, but you have to think about, you know, he may be out of gas. He's throwing his third inning, you know, and that's something that they had to do yesterday as well. You know, whether you go out there as a reliever for the third inning, that's a rarity anymore.
Breaking ball down low. Yeah, he came out and got the final out of the 5th inning. Worked a 1-2-3 6th. Got a double play ball and only faced 3 hitters in the 7th. But then the long fly ball out off the bat of Encarnacion to open this inning. Then Ramirez with a single, and Zimmer took him deep. 9 runs on 11 hits now for the Indians. And that's smoked foul. $24 runs in their last 3 games now for this Indians offense. And how do you like that? Roberto Perez patiently waits him out, draws a walk, and that's it. He is out of gas.
Yeah, he's out of gas. You can see it.
So Frankie Montes will exit with 1 out in the 8th, and the Indians up 9-4. We'll be right back. From the corner in right field or at the drink rails and left with $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio. Now your district ticket includes your first drink, and it's only available online at Indians.com. Ballpark karaoke.
Is she taping that in her phone?
Sending it right to, I'd say American Idol, but I don't think that show's on the air anymore. Josh Smith, right-hander.
You're right, it's off.
He's given up 8 runs in his last 3 outings. So he's trying to get back on track. Bob Melvin goes to him here in a game that the A's had clawed their way back to within striking distance. But boy, that 2-run homer by Bradley Zimmer really took the wind out of their sails. And as the Indians have opened up a 5-run cushion now. Daniel Robertson 0 for 3 tonight. He tries the left side of the infield for the first time, and they turn a double play to end the inning. We head to the 9th, and Bradley Zimmer's second home run of the year has put the Indians up by 5.
Nick Goody has come on for the Tribe as the Indians lead the A's 9-4. Welcome back, along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Some great offense tonight, no question about that. But how about Trevor Bauer, a career-high 14 strikeouts in 7 innings?
He better have 2 steaks ready for Daniel Robertson and Michael Brantley, because without the defensive wizardry of both those guys, he may not have gotten out of the 4th inning.
All right, plenty to talk about tonight right after the game. Indians Live is brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. For the call of the 9th, back upstairs we go. Here are Matt and Rick.
Al, your fan club out there, I see?
Yeah, that
okay.
is, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. You left him
He
tickets.
paid to get him in here, too.
I know that. He left him tickets.
He's trying to get himself ready for the Cavs watch parties out here. All these people filtering over. So
no one bigger than Al Johnson. Don't ever forget
he's
that.
He's much bigger than me, actually.
It is Big Al's out here all day.
Well, right now it's Nick Goody time as he tries to finish out here in the 9th. With the Indians up 9-4, Josh Phegley, the number 8 hitter, to lead it off, and Goody's fastball sails high. Stephen Vogt getting an opportunity to hit with Eric Gonzalez at second base. Vogt batting for Phegley, who was 0 for 3 tonight. Vogt played last night and was 1 for 4 with a base hit.
That base hit he got last night was the second straight hit. That came off Cody Allen, a little breaking ball down. He served it to left field.
Yeah,
he likes it down.
Whoa, but he was buried it down and in on him. Couldn't get to that one. It's 2-2. No, you're right. The one last night, it was down, but it was away, and enabled him just kind of flick it that way.
He sure did. He can get the barrel out of the bat down to the baseball, like a lot of left-handers can.
Nick Goody hasn't given up many hits this year. The 2-2 on its way, and a ground ball in the hole, and a base hit through the hole on that right side. Nick Goody came in tonight with the 3rd lowest batting average against among relief pitchers. They were hitting a .133 against him. But Stephen Vogt able to pull it through the right side for a leadoff single. And Adam Rosales now steps in. Swung out and missed. High pop up left field. Back is Brantley a few. And easily makes the catch, one down.
Stepping in now for Oakland, the center fielder,
Rajai Davis 0 for 4 tonight, has struck out 3 times. And now 1 for 8 in the first 2 games of his return to Cleveland. Nice slider, swing and a miss.
Yeah, we keep saying that every time he goes out and takes the mound, and we still think that the hitters have a tough time picking it up because he gets a lot of swings and misses with that pitch.
Goody's last appearance was 3 days ago, so he had a couple days down, but he pitched an inning in 2/3 against Kansas City. That would have been with the Saturday game. A little bit high, and it's 2-1. Good pitch, fastball. I mean, you talk about the location and how important it is. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball, if it's in the middle of the plate, it's crushable, but that's at the knees, outside corner part of
you
the.
locate it, and it turns out to be that. It looks a lot harder than what it is when you locate it.
And now the 2-2 slider blown away, and Davis, he said, "I've chased enough tonight. I'm going to hold off."
At least that one. The 2-2. We'll see if you lay off 3-2 if he throws it again. Keep coming back with it.
He didn't hold up. You were right.
You can take it 2-2, but I don't know if you can take it 3-2.
There are 2 down in the inning. He stayed with it. Persistence pays off. Patience wears thin.
18 strikeouts now for tri-pitchers.
Runner at first, 2 down. Trevor Plouffe at the plate. Plouffe has struck out 3 times tonight. He's one of 3 Oakland batters who've struck out at least 3 times, with Davis, Rajai going down 4 times. And the 0-1 fouled back out of play. $14,184. And they're up now as Nick Goody tries to secure the final out. Two-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. Roberto will throw to first. And the Indians have won the first 2 against Oakland as they run their win streak to now 3 in a row. Tribe is 27-23 on the year as they beat the A's tonight by a final score of 9-4. Trevor Bauer gets the win. He is now 5-4 on the year, and that gives him a win in 3 of the last 4 times out. He has not lost now since May the 8th.
He was special tonight.
He was incredible tonight.
He was very special tonight. He came out and he was down 3-0, and then they came back with 7 unanswered. But after Michael Brantley threw that guy out at home plate, I'm going to tell you, that something kicked in. Santana had a little bunt. They had a 4-run inning. They took the lead, and then he took it to a different gear. And then he was lights out. When you consider his last 10 outs were strikeouts.
Yeah.
You know, they struck out 19 batters today. Nice game. Keep building on it, boys. Way to go.
A career best 14 strikeouts in 7 innings of work for Trevor Bauer as the Indians beat Oakland tonight by a final of 9-4. We'll back with some final thoughts right after this.